like you're saying, Shan, that's one less decision that Steve Jobs had to make every day, because they make so many decisions throughout the day that impacts the planet. Literally, you impacting the planet, you're impacting billions of people and how they live their lives and how they search for things, how they look at things, how they look at the world. So if you're making big time decisions on a regular basis, you don't want to think about what am I going to wear today. Just like, that same old saying you have with your woman, what are we going to eat today? It's the same kind of thing. Like a whole that takes some brain processing power, especially when you and your woman can't decide on what you want.
What's tripped out, y'all, is that even the ones that do it for themselves, right? The ones that's speaking words of affirmation in front of the mirror, where they the only ones telling themselves they look good. We got women out there marrying themselves, and guess what? They still can't keep it to their damn selves. They gotta run a TikTok and tell the world how they married themselves. They gotta run a TikTok and tell the world how, hey, look, I'm speaking words of affirmation to myself. So even then, even when they're literally doing it for themselves, they still not doing it for themselves because they gotta come out here and tell us what they're doing.
Hey, real quick, B Man, you mentioned something about the basics. The first thing that popped in my mind was Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs.
Mhm.
So for those that don't know, Mark Zuckerberg wears a t-shirt and jeans to work every day. When the late great Steve Jobs was here, he wore black t-shirts and jeans every day. Whenever he did a presentation, when he released the Apple in July 2007, and whenever he released any other product, you always notice that he had a black t-shirt on. Somebody asked him, he said, and this is, see, for me, I used to get dressed. I used to get dressed, coordinate, fly, and spend a whole lot of time. I used to do all of that stuff. Now I just pretty much wear black t-shirts all day. And this is the reason why. Well, this is what I adopted. Somebody asked Steve Jobs before he passed. They said, Steve, why do you only wear black t-shirts every day you go to work? You can clearly wear whatever you want. You can have a closet as big as you want. You can have as many tailors as you want, but you always wear that. And he said, his response was, and this is what Zuckerberg picked up and myself as well. He said, because I have too much on my mind to think about getting dressed. He said, I got too much on my mind as the CEO of Apple and the founder and CEO of Apple Computers than to worry about coordinating my pants and my shirts. So I wear black t-shirts and I wear basic t-shirts because it keeps everything simple. And I can use he's saying I can use all of my brain power on making better products. And I always thought that was interesting. Some people do like that's me. Some people like to keep it basic as possible. So I have to worry about all the other stuff that comes along with getting fly. Now I'll get fly if I got to go out. If there's an event, I'll do what I need to do. But typically I keep it super simple so I can think about the shit that's really important in my life. The thing about those Zuckerberg, his t-shirts cost $500 each. And so for those that don't know, there's a fabric called Pima. It's the highest quality. It's a longer string. So it's Pima cotton.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So for gentlemen like that's out there that want to keep it simple but still want to feel good, look into it. Now,
it's elevated
t-shirts it's not a Hanes t-shirt that you go grab. It's not a fucking oversized AAA t-shirt. It's not it's not your basic t-shirt. It's a Pima cotton t-shirts typically start around $50 and go up. I know that may seem weird, but put one on first before you knock it. Put on a Pima cotton t-shirt and let it lay across your skin, and then cast that judgment. But keeping it simple also allows some people to concentrate on other things. The thing about it in the dating market, the people, like these women that say they do it because they want to just be, to dress for themselves, I think is just 100% bullshit. I think everybody gets dressed and likes to look fly for other people, because if a zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow and the sky fell and all the communication went out, and nobody was able to talk, and half the world disappeared like Thanos snap, I don't think we'd be worried about what's in the closet. Just think about that.
Nope.
And like you're saying, Shan, that's one less decision that Steve Jobs had to make every day, because they make so many decisions throughout the day that impacts the planet. Literally, you're impacting the planet, you're impacting billions of people and how they live their lives and how they search for things, how they look at things, how they look at the world. So if you're making big time decisions on a regular basis, you don't want to think about what am I going to wear today. Just like, that same old saying you have with your woman, what are we going to eat today? It's the same kind of thing. Like that takes some brain processing power, especially when you and your woman can't decide on what you want. But I did want to say this real fast. I'm a fashion model. I love fashion. I love clothes. I love to put it on all day, every day. I really do. I love to look good. I love to look good for me. But there's no mistake there. I'm looking fly for the women. And that's just what it is. I'm looking fly for the ladies. I know that. There's no delusion there whatsoever. I want you to say, oh, look at his beard. It look nice. Oh, look at his shirt. Oh, is that Pima cotton? Oh, I like that shit. That's soft. Oh, he got him some bread. Oh, I like what what's he wearing? Is that Louis Vuitton? That smell good. Oh, I like that shit. I ain't never gonna deny that. But I like to look good, but I do it for the ladies. And for you ladies that like it, you're welcome.
I would say that it's different for some people because some people really don't care, and you can tell by the way they leave the house. There are some people who just don't care. They leave the house with pajamas, however they went to bed, whatever, and they are what they are, and they don't care what anybody thinks, and they do it for themselves. But for the people who don't, it's always based behind strategy, right? Like Sir Hale was saying earlier, he wears a suit and tie because he knows that people will treat you better. That's a strategy. And then you have your mating strategies. That's why, like everybody else said, we all do it. And women do the best that they can to obtain a man. Now, as far as them actually being able to retain a man, which is one of their primary problems, especially the women of today, they don't, because they obviously do get comfortable. They don't care. And then you see them in the bonnets, and they go to bed like that, and they walk around the house like that. And then they have, you see the big old flannel pajamas and stuff. They would not do that type of thing in the beginning because they're still trying to suck you in. Now, once they got you, they got their claws in, and you knee deep in it. Now they start sacking. I'm going to say men do it too sometimes, but not nearly as the of the extent of that women do. I'm definitely going to say that because, like me myself, I definitely try to at least stay up to par. Do what I can to stay in shape, make sure I'm groomed, make sure I look good all the time. You know what I mean? I don't go to bed with sunglasses, but I do my best to make sure I do my best to make sure that I look like I do in the daytime, during the nighttime, and whenever you see me, you never know who you're going to run into. So I feel like you should always be at your best. Some of it is the only part of it that I feel like is about yourself is like what particular style that you own. So you find a style that you own and you do it your way. But as far as if nobody was going to see me, I'd probably be outside with PJs too.